I'm Terry Brock, and welcome to this special edition of Achievement Update. We're going to talk about Terry's top Twitter tools. Lots of tools and tips that you can use and things that are there, because Twitter right now is a real strong force for business. It's doing a lot, and if you're not using it right now, I mean, what are you waiting for? It is out there, it's available, and it's something that's being used for serious business applications. Before we thought it was something that was trivial. Now it does a lot for business, and that's what we're going to talk about here. Twitter as a force for business and the kind of things you can do with it. It's no longer just for casual use. See, Twitter is something now that is being used by businesses in many different areas to stay in touch with people, to get out there and to send your message in a powerful way to people that want to know about what you're doing. It's even taking over email. You know, interesting, recently I had some special events going on, and I found it was interesting. I'm getting more feedback through Twitter and really through Facebook as well than I am through email. The email is still good, but boy, it is dramatically less than it used to be. And Twitter and Facebook are coming on stronger than ever. But you need to know how to leverage this thing. If you don't leverage it properly, you're not going to be able to really avail yourself of what's out there. There's so many things you can do with Twitter, and by getting to know it and being able to use it properly, it will help you to generate more on the bottom line. So as we look at some of the top Twitter tips that I have for you, you'll find that the first thing you want to do is provide a lot of value. Provide value to people in the term of what they are looking for. You see, value is really determined by the audience. Too often people say, well, I'm giving value. Hey, I'm going to give them some of these things. Here, we'll give them some pins. This will be really good. And the audience is going, oh, we don't need that. You know, the way to do it is you step back and you ask them what they want and how do they define value. That is most important. And here's how you can do it. Solve their problems. Okay, it's really very easy to understand the concept of solving problems, but it's something that takes a little bit of work. You have to do your research. What problems are they having? Don't just think you know it. Go out there and do the research. Base it on what you have heard, not just from one or two people, but preferably through solid research on what's going on. Also, take a look at it in business. When you come back and say, here's a way that you can generate more business. Here's a lead. Here's someone that needs your services, someone that needs your products, and you bring that in, that is going to generate a lot of value on the part of anyone that's in business and doing it in a serious way. Also, when you're looking at producing these, a real bonus you can have is to tell your story with audio and video. Don't just talk about it on paper. That's nice. But do it in a creative way. Like one of the things I'm doing right now with this video, I'm using Keynote to be able to develop the slides, put them together to give you some value. You can see me talking. You see my face there on the screen, and you're able to take a look at what's available. Plus, I can bring in other options too, so I can show you many other things. That's just really nice. And then video gives you the ability to work with it. You want to think visually. Think about the visual aspects that you can use with something like YouTube. And with audio, think in terms of podcasts, iTunes, and think in terms of mobility. If you've got a very busy target market, people that are busy, they're running around getting a lot of things done, they don't have time to sit and watch a video. Sometimes they're busy. They don't have time to read. Sometimes they want to do it while they're doing other activities. They're out jogging. They're taking a walk. They're cleaning up around their home. They're out shopping. I use it a lot when I'll take my iPhone here, take my little iPhone, and I put the little headphones in, and I'm able to use that when I'm out shopping for groceries. So something as mundane as getting groceries now becomes an educational university for me. I have the University of Groceries. So I could go out there and I could learn a lot while I'm doing it. Think about creative ways that you can do it, and particularly ways that your target market is using that. There's a lot available out there that's available right now. Also, here's another point. When you're using Twitter, another top tip is use it for research. Twitter is really sparkling here. The research capabilities are outstanding because it gives you the ability to research your industry. Research the world. What's going on? What are people saying? And what are they doing? And research what they're saying about you. Where is your name mentioned and you didn't know about it? Make sure that you're aware of that. I've got little keys in there. Every time Terry Brock is mentioned, it flashes up on my screen. Not only for me, but also for the other Terry Brocks out there. And I know some of you are watching, by the way, because we're in touch with each other. But other Terry Brocks that are out there that are not me, I find out what they're doing too, and we stay in touch that way. So you want to find out what people are saying about you, about your company, and here's a very important one, what they're saying about your competitors. They're going to say certain things that they like, that they don't like about your competitors. From a business point of view, you need to know about these things. Know what's being said about them, what people like, and you get a chance to kind of track back there in the industry that way to find out what's going on in many different ways. Now you might wonder, how am I going to do all this stuff? Well, there's a couple little tools that I recommend. One is Twitter, of course, itself, and TweetDeck. When you look at what these are, they give you a lot of capability. Matter of fact, let's just bounce over here and we can take a look at some of these so you can see the kind of features and the kind of capabilities that are available with that. And here we are taking a look at Twitter. You can see this is my Twitter right now. Matter of fact, real live stuff. And we can see some of the mentions that are there, the kinds of things that are coming up on the screen, what's available. You see there's a lot of information there, and you just can't keep up with it all. There's so much available, particularly if you get a lot of followers. When you get into the few hundreds or even thousands of followers, it really makes a difference. What you can do, though, is you can zero in on certain things here that are going to show you what's going on. For instance, the search. This is real important. You can tie into that, find out what's being said. You can look at direct messages that have come and gone from you and from other people as well. You can look at various lists, so you can zero in that way. And what's really interesting here is what's trending. So you can see the kinds of things that are trends that are happening, what's going on, today's world. You can see right now these are the things that people are tweeting about with different things that are of importance to you. Like, for instance, over here, searching pound NSA10, that little pound sign, or the hashtag, as they call it over in Europe, and has been adapted here with Twitter in the States. This gives you to zero in on specific things. You'll see this is something, for instance, for the National Speakers Association, people that are writing specific tweets about what's going on, what's happening there, and you'll see that there are several different references to it from many different people. I have direct messages here to me, searching for Terry Brock again, and I can find out very quickly. Plus, here's something that's really nice. Look at this over here. LinkedIn, I can look specifically at LinkedIn network updates, things that are happening there, and I can see a search for Terry Brock whenever my name is mentioned, and Facebook as well. So I can track LinkedIn and Facebook all from TweetDeck, a very handy little tool that gives me the ability to get a lot of things done. So when you're working with that, I recommend take a look at those two tools and use them. Also, be accessible. Here's the third top Twitter tip that I have. Be accessible, be available for people out there. Various approaches for connecting. You can connect through Facebook, through Twitter. You can connect through a lot of different ways that people are using to stay in touch with each other. Matter of fact, I would recommend that you think about Sam Walton. He went out seeing the Walmart stores as they were building that business. When it was out there, it was just growing. They were competing against Kmart, which was the #1. Sears was real big out there as well. And Walmart has now since taken over them because they employed those principles of getting out there, seeing the people, pressing the flesh, shaking hands, how you doing, phone calls, real live phone. You pick up the phone, you say, hi, how you doing, what's going on? A real person. Email is great. Nothing wrong with email. Using Twitter, that's great. But you see, nothing takes the place of that personal touch, saying hello to people, and making those personal visits, phone calls, handwritten letters. Never forget about the importance of that and how powerful that is. Because you see, it's all about relationship marketing, connecting with people, not about the e-commerce, all the electronics, but it's really about our commerce, relationships, and establishing those. Well, thanks for joining me today, and I will look forward to hearing from you. I'm Terry Brock at terrybrock.com. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for being with us today.